The devil went down to Robert because Robert gave his soul to steal. And the only thing he got in return was a nice cooked meal. Robert, the next king. Oh yeah. But when one king dies, a new one rises. Robert. Robert. Not as tactful as William, but still, more or less a man of the people, you know? The people loved him. We'll find out if the people actually loved him, though. Are you the young king? I'm not. Robert's the young king. They call him Bob. Hey, Bob. Bob got attacker. Haha, just kidding. I know we've been through this. That's a curse, you see. I'm not sure. We will remember each and every king of this dynasty. Every compromise, every death, for ages. But it is said only the devil will allow us to blissfully forget the cursed kings. But does he even exist? Yeah, he does. That's an interesting thought. Maybe he does. Maybe we will find him eventually. You know it. Roberts was a Satanist. He loved him some Satan and was hoping one day to meet the devil. Interesting thought. Also, he used his mind well. Maybe he does. Maybe we will find him eventually. Wolf, wolf. Robert loved dogs. He loved dogs very much. And he liked them too much. And thus told him to eat some mushrooms. Oh! Huh. Robert was smart. Robert became smart and for some freaky reason got clarity. If our eyeball is insanity, why did Robert find clarity? I don't think that could have been spoken any better. Thanks, Sid. Oh my gosh, I can't fake cry because my eyeballs are right here. And they're sad. But yeah, one thing Robert knew is what the fuck he was doing. Long live the king. I pray for your prosperity of your majesty. Oh man, this game just got super easy. As you can tell, Robert was the smartest king to ever do it. He eats the orange shrooms. Yes, do it. Oh, okay. We should attack the kingdom of the south. They are growing stronger every day. Nah, fam, we good. Cereals are very cheap these days. You should raise the price of bread. You might as well double it. There's a crisis in your church. We need to reform our religion. Since Robert knew exactly the outcome of these decisions and was trying to keep everything at 50, he said, not so fast there. My lord, the good doctor just saved the life of my nephew. He's a bit of a magician. Here he is now. I'm busy. Oh, actually, one of his side goals was to recruit a doctor. Let him in. The wise. Robert was not just the wise. Robert had the clarity and was going to be in power for a very long time. He knew exactly the outcome of his decisions. Robert the Wise. He didn't actually do anything that smart. All he did was see, hey, look, there's this doctor who helped out the people so that he can be part of our community. Because we didn't have a doctor before. You got the flu, you're dead. Diarrhea, you're dead. Slightly constipated, you're also dead. You cough in the street, I am executing you. That was the thought of Robert. He just, if there was any sign of sickness, you died. You got the plague, oh my gosh, you're burned, flagged alive, and then your head's chopped off. That wasn't an effective way to stop the plague, but he needed to make sure that you weren't allowed to get the plague in these places. Son of a plague. He's a doctor, alchemist, poisoner. I can handle life for you, or death occasionally. We welcomed him. Robert welcomed him with open arms. The message says, a village in the south is encouraging polygamy. Send the army, send the church. I guess send the church? Robert was very wise. A miracle happened in the south. A statue of the prophet is weeping blood. I don't know if that's actually a miracle. We should claim it's genuine. Yay? Nah, fam, we good. We heard about a young princess being held against her will in Dark Rock Castle. Well, might as well make everything better. Robert the Wise was not a simp. He just said no. Robert the Wise. You don't go after that damsel in distress. You don't do that. That's why Robert the Wise was in power forever, though he had no offsprings. Very sad, but at the same time, the sacrifices he had to make. Robert the Wise. He was wise, and he played it safe. Also, Wolfa. He also talked to werewolves all the time. I opened a trendy tavern near the harbor. Will you graciously loan me some money? Robert the Wise liked to drink, as all wise people do. So he loaned the werewolf some money. There are too many people to execute. I need help from the army. Why not? He said, why not? I would like to conduct new research on weapons and warfare. Do you help the master? I believe that's a smart decision to do, Robert said, thinking out loud. The soldiers' wages are too low. You know what? Robert opted against that. 3 pence an hour is pretty good, Robert proclaimed. No. What do you want to do, Doc? Robert the Wise. Robert the Clarity. This has made the game so easy. I'd like to conduct new research on the fabled transmutation of lead into gold. Can you finance me? I believe that Robert thought no was a good answer here. All good in Christ. And all was good in Christ. For now. The harvest is a nightmare, and people are famished. Please, sir, decrease the taxes. This was a big decision for Robert. If he decreased the taxes, the people and the church probably fell down. Probably all that falls down. But if he does it, the money absolutely falls, the people will go up, and we're gonna do it. Whoa! Robert the Wise knew how to live on the edge. Sometimes you gamble and lose. Robert the Wise also said no because Robert the Wise was broke as shit. Broke as shit is the technical term for having $1. Like $1 to your name. You're officially broke as shit. That's how things framed back then. You know, you have one piece of gold. That's worth $50 billion today, but back then it was one piece of gold. You had literally $1, one little gold coin. Why anyone listened to Robert the Wise was beyond me. I'd like to build a capital school. Nah, fam, you good. Folks are Romeo teaching children to spit on the. Robert the Wise knew. You don't spit on Robert the Wise. Fun fact, Robert the Wise laid cousin Anakin Skywalker. The ship has been quarantined. It may be the plague. Shall we quarantine the whole port? Robert the Wise knew that he couldn't do this because he was, again, broke as shit. No other ship has presented with the disease. We're safe. Oh no. Well, this might be the end of Robert the Wise. No, it's not. No, it's not. Robert the Wise stays in another year. Holy cow. Robert the Wise. If Robert the Wise tried to save the victims, Robert would die. So, he prevented pillaging. There's been a massive breakout from the prison. We need to organize a search party. Well, Robert the Wise had to say yes to this, otherwise he would die. My lord, would you like to taste my cake? Too hot for that? Well, Robert the Wise knew that if he decided not to taste the cake, he would die. So, bada boom. It was a very good cake. Cake, 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 cake. Robert the Wise. Love me that guy. You know, his story was pretty fabled, you know. He's been in power for 21 years now. Holy cow. Now 22 years. My lord, wolves are eating our children. Can we hunt them? Well, again, to prevent death, Robert the Wise hunted the wolves himself. The hunt was a success. Fine banquet. And thus he gave the food to the people, because they were the ones being eaten. He, at one point, had $1, one little gold coin. He had 2 people he was monitoring, like 2 people. Nice couple, both in their mid-50s, had a nice 401k. She had a pension because she worked in the government for a while, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, they were the only 2 people there. And he somehow managed to live 22 years in power. Just shows that anything is possible if you try your best. I mean, to a point. 23 years for a king. That's more than most people lived in the 600s. I heard strange noises in the castle last night. Robert the Wise knew how to... even though he was wise, he did not know how to relieve himself wisely, we'll say. I heard strange noises in the castle last night. We should have more guards patrolling. No. The merchants would like to create a new guild and send their representative to the court. This was dangerous times, not knowing the exact effect. So he said no. Whew. The wisest of kings, Robert the Wise. Too much sugar, my lord, it will kill you. It's a good way to die. Robert the Wise was in power for 25 years and accepted that he was going to die soon. Robert the Wise knew that he was ready to die. He'd been in power for 25 years, taking into account year inflation from about 600 to right now it's 2021? That's the year. I'm not sure when this is going to get released. It might be 2022. But yeah, that basically means he is about 150 years old. And given that he's 150 years old, everyone he's known and loved is dead. They died just of natural causes. Probably some form of disease, and he had him hanged. But he lived on. Who else is going to be king? Alright, he lived another year though, so apparently sugar's not that bad for you. There's a cholera breakout in the capital. It's the Blue Death. Can't do that. So he closed the gates. Robert the Wise lasted 27 years. Can't be too mad about that. Alright everyone, salute off Robert the Wise. He lived for a very long time and was a hero of the people. Ah yes, the first 2 kings of the kingdom, Robert the Wise, William the Old. Both heroes of, well, William the Old being a hero of the money and the cash flow. His bitch was bad, looking like a bag of money. While Robert the Wise somehow managed to stay alive with having 1 penny and an elderly couple that he was supporting. I'll see you next time on, what is it? Some form of true Hollywood stories. The 1600s. Yeah, no, that's but anyways, yeah. Welcome to the documentaries.